yeah, if you want to drink, you want to have this, go ahead.
Oh,
It's disgusting.
he didn't say like no.
No, he said, if you guys can drink this, then go ahead and do it. And they were like, hooray! And they had parades probably, and everybody was loving it. I imagine 2 big beer steins clinking over the successful send of that. Maybe they did it on purpose. I don't know.
That's fascinating. Okay.
Inspired by the adventures of our nurses, therapists, and techs, A Beer with Atlas is the only healthcare traveling craft beer drinking podcast. Each week, we'll open a few beers, talk about the brewery and the style of beer, and then dive into some research curated specifically for each episode. In the end, we hope each one sounds like a conversation you'd have with your friends while enjoying a few cold ones.
Guten Tag, and welcome to another episode of A Beer with Atlas. Was that still loud?
No, that was like... Did you like start here and go here?
You kind of moved in, but that's fine. This is the first time we've ever done a 3-taker.
You're a Guten Tag.
You've had too many beers.
I haven't even started drinking yet this morning. It's very German of me.
Guess so.
All right, well, I'm just going to start normal then, Joe.
All right, we're good.
I heard you just turn me down. I heard you do that.
A little bit.
Okay, there we go.
Don't hurt his pride.
Now I'm going to go really soft like this, so you have to turn it up.
Nope.
Guten Tag, and welcome to another episode of A Beer with Atlas.
Spicy.
I'm Rich.
I'm Brian.
Smooth.
Was that better, Dolan?
A lot better.
Are you happy with that?
I
with
love
that
this.
take?
Yes.
Behind the scenes, we had to do that 3 times because apparently I'm too loud.
Yeah.
But I'm loud because I'm excited because week 3 of Oktoberfest brings us a legit German green bottle
Yes.
Oktoberfest beer from Spaten, simply called Oktoberfest Marzen.
Yeah, there you go. You are Marzen.
Marzen, right? There's got to be some kind of Germanness to that. I don't. Means like the Marsden, maybe, or a Marzen.
A Marzen, I betcha.
Germanness.
Brewed in
Germanness.
Munich, Germany.
Germanness.
Brewed
That was nice German.
in Munich.
Since 1397.
Legit.
13. Let me say that again, Dolan. 1397. This is not this bottle because we would want to drink one from that old, but the brewery has been around that long.
Wow.
I'm I'm jealous of Dolan.
Why?
I'm gonna tell you
Why?
right now.
Because of his hair?
Well, that too, yes.
Yeah.
I didn't start my beer journey until much later in my life.
Right.
He, because of us. I mean, now.
Yeah, because of you.
Right. I mean,
I
he
would
was
say,
he was
yeah.
drinking before, but
Well, blue yummies and
right,
Yeah.
and some Kona
Mike's
Big
Hard
Wave,
Lemonade.
right, and
Yeah,
stuff like that.
Kona, yeah.
Right, but and that's okay. That's not
Got to start somewhere.
right. I just almost feel like I wasted years of Oktoberfest that I didn't enjoy.
Oh, yeah, you did.
This is just malty, delicious sweetness. So it's so good.
One of the only ones I think we've ever done, Oktoberfest-wise, that has a green bottle.
Right.
I mean, they're hard to find nowadays.
Well, yeah. Well, you don't want it to get whatever skunky, struck, right? Sunstruck,
Yeah.
heat struck, whatever that is.
Yeah, usually the light will affect it, and that's why most places have gone away from the green bottle.
Green bottle.
Ooh, I like this a lot. And the green bottle usually scares me.
Yeah.
Well,
I found that a lot of green bottles, maybe it's just in my brain, taste the same. You have that
Yes.
green bottle flavor.
they
Yeah.
do.
But this one overcomes that.
Well, think about it. I mean, we've had quite a few. Rolling Rock, Heineken, like the general green bottle-y beers. I don't want to generalize, but those seem to be the 2 most popular ones, right?
Carlsbad, I've seen that one before.
Yeah.
That's got a green one.
Right.
Lucky Buddha, the green.
Ooh.
That one's fun bottle, too.
I've had some
I have one of those.
skunko ones of
Yeah,
those.
I'm
And-
not a fan of those.
No, not at
Yeah,
all.
that's probably why.
No.
But they've, I think, just used this for a long time,
Well, it works for them.
I guess.
Where did you find this one at? You brought us this one. Where did
I
you find
did.
this?
I bought a case of Spaten beer,
Okay.
and it had a 12-pack of this in it.
Okay.
And then it had 6 packs of 2 other beers that we are going to get into after this one.
Where did you find this case of magic at?
I think it was at local big box place.
Rhymes with Roscoe?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So not the one that rhymes with
Mams.
Mam's Club?
Rams Club?
Yeah, not that one.
Oh, okay.
I was at the local Roscoe yesterday.
Oh.
And they had was the 28 pack of Sam Adams.
Yep.
Still bought it anyway.
I mean, yeah. If you're
right.
out, you're out.
Now here's the thing: it had a picture of a big stein on there too, and I thought, okay, maybe I'm going to get a stein out of this. No, you just open it up; it's a bunch of beers. So, but that's okay.
This is the time. Like I know for sure, Polliner. If you go to like our local place, like Hy-Vee grocery store, that has pretty good selection. They have a big can of Polliner, and you get an Oktoberfest mug for like $10.
Oh.
Pretty good deal.
Okay.
If you need one, I got this one. I brought mine. This is Portal Fest.
Oh, cross strain and pint 9. There you
Yeah.
go. Last year I bought the Breckenridge Brewery. They have the big old keg looking little mini keg that you put in your fridge.
Yeah.
Delicious. My wife ridiculed me for that.
Yeah.
She's like, how much beer do you need to drink? I'm like, well, it's Oktoberfest beer, so
Yeah.
you have to
Doesn't
drink
really even count.
giant steins all at once because that's how you do it.
Let's recap real quick just a little bit about this one.
Okay.
Because this is the Marzen style. We've already talked about them before. But around 6% is where they fall in the range.
Yep.
If, like this one is a Munich beer for the Reinheitsgebot. Remember that? It's got to be brewed in Munich.
Yep.
Especially if it's going to be served at Oktoberfest in Munich, which this one is. I think they have a tent. We've talked about that last year.
Yeah.
This place, as I said earlier, has been around since 1397. And I'm going to go through just a little bit of history with them because I wrote a timeline. And unlike a lot of the brewery research that we do with timelines, it starts, like 2016. Well, I'm going to start later in their history, 1622. That's where we're going to catch up.
Wow.
So that's when the Spot family bought the old brewery, which was the Oberspath brewery. And they changed it to Spaten, which means or refers to the spade, which is why there's a shovel on the label and on the bottle cap.
Interesting.
And then it's GS. So
What's GS? What is
we're going to
that?
get there.
Oh.
In 1704, they sold the brewery, and whoever bought it kept the Spaten name because it already kind of established itself as like a regional thing. So there was some value in that, and they kept it. 1807, brewmaster for the royal court. So the German king, whatever.
Yeah.
His name, Gabriel Sedlamar.
GS.
GS.
Good call.
1807. He bought the brewery, basically, to make beer for the royal family. This was the smallest brewery in Munich.
Okay.
And he's looking for something to do so he can make beer and have it for them. And that's the purchase that he makes. And then 1851, the brewery and the company or whatever bought their current location. So we talk about, current tap room since 2019. Well, there's been since 1851. So before most of the states were even states here in the United
I
States.
think you've done some renovation to that.
I would hope so. Added an indoor bathroom maybe.
Maybe.
Or a food truck. 1867, Spaten is the largest brewery in the area until the 1890s. And it won a gold medal. We talked about that a couple weeks ago about, Great American Beer Fest.
Right.
Well, they won a gold medal for the World Beer Expo in Paris in 1867.
That's OG gold medal right there.
It's probably like a real gold medal.
Probably.
Yeah. Probably not just a label you stick on your beer.
Right.
And then in 1872 is the first year Oktoberfest was brewed. So that's this one. So
1872.
100, 200, what was it, 60,
A lot.
50, 40, 140, 150 years, something like that.
We could do the math.
150 years.
If we only had
next
some
year.
sort of like device where we could.
If we only had a calculator, 150 years next year.
Man.
That's a good anniversary.
I was always told that I wouldn't have a calculator in my pocket.
In my pocket. Ah,
They lied.
liars.
They knew.
I know.
They knew.
Yeah.
So I'm going to stop there
Okay.
for right now for the brewery information. I got some more to go on, but the Oktoberfest itself, they have it, since 1810, I think is when it started in Munich. Like what we consider to be now. And that was back when they were having that, bridal party for whoever, and then they decided that was so much fun, we'll just do it every year. Remember that story?
Yes.
So they've done it ever since 1810. It's only been canceled 25 times, 25 years out of since 1810, so 220 years.
I would assume world wars and pandemics.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's pretty much
it's
it,
been
right?
Canceled the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Since we're in one of those. But and then in like 1911, 12, 13 was like World War I, and then the Spanish flu. So that was kind of gone then. And then the wars, like you said, and there's been a few of those, especially that they were involved with, so in reconstruction, things like that. But for the most part, it goes on every year at the same time, and it's like millions of people come and visit this thing every year.
Not this year.
It would be fun. That would be like one of those bucket list things to do, just to go check it out one time.
Get vaccinated so we can go
there, yeah.
But I just, what was something in my throat?
Sounded German.
I don't know what it was. I don't know.
Deep amber / gold color for these beers, for these Marzen styles.
Yes.
This one they said was almost like a sweeter version than the Sam Adams Boston Lager. So very close cousin to that beer.
There's a bitterness to the Sam Adams that this does not have.
Yeah.
Definitely does not have.
So does it taste green bottly to you, Dolan?
A little bit.
Pour it in the glass?
A little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Okay.
But you're going right out of the bottle, so I assume it has it to you.
I could care less, quite honestly. No,
It's-
I just like it.
It's not as strong. It's not as strong as some of the other green bottle stuff that I've had, but it's still there.
I wonder if it's because most of those other green bottle beers are like lagers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this one's got some darkness to it, a little bit of color. That maybe that helps it. I don't know.
So it doesn't let the light penetrate it as much,
As
maybe?
much, yeah.
Okay, that's possible.
Oh, okay. 1884. So this goes back to that GS thing you were talking about.
Yep, the King guy. Yeah,
Otto Hub.
it's a very German name.
Very German. My mom's maiden name, so my grandparents' last name was Otto.
OTTO.
And they live and farm down in by Beatrice, Nebraska, which we talked about
had this
recently.
Yeah.
conversation.
Beet rice.
And there's a whole lot of Ottos there. And I think my grandpa's parents were straight from Germany, spoke German all the time. And then, as luck would have it, he went to World War II and fought the Germans, which would be kind of strange.
That'd be kind of strange.
It'd be like fighting your parents' friends' kids, because that's where they were from,
Hey, Gary, I'm going to shoot at you now.
Yep.
I guess it wouldn't be Gary. It'd be like, I don't even know. Give me a German name. Hey,
Heinrich.
Heinrich.
That was the top of my dome.
Duck now. I'm going to shoot.
Heinrich. Yeah.
It's a good German name.
I have a shirt, and when you go to a beer fest now, you try to wear your best beer shirt, right?
Of course.
Well, before I even really had beer shirts, one of my very first beer fests I went to was a shirt that I got at a thrift store, and it said, "You can always tell a German, you just can't tell them much," because we are very infamous for being stubborn Germans. So that's one of the things I think about when I think of this. But anyway, Otto Hub designs the logo. So this logo has been intact since 1884.
The blue and kind of light blue checker.
The spade
GS.
with the GS and the shield
I
sort of
okay,
look.
okay.
So because that's on every of their output, every beer. And it's changed just a little bit every once in a while, but it's mostly the same thing, and it has been that way since 1884. So probably one of the longest, really mostly unchanged logos that we've talked about, at least for beer. I can't think of anything else. Maybe Coca-Cola would be close to that, potentially.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
look at it. You got grain, you have hops, you have... I mean, is that... yeah, I mean, it's just... If you had to design a logo around the Rheingebiet,
yeah,
that would be
That's
right.
it.
I mean, that's it, right? I mean, there's just no water on there, but
Yeah,
otherwise,
if they were pouring water into it, then we'd have it all.
sure.
Yeah, pretty cool. And it still has the blue and white checks that we've talked about before. You see this on the shelf, it's Oktoberfest. One of the things I like about this, some people peel the labels at the bottle, right?
Right.
Especially if you're at the bar or whatever, you're just talking. This one, the peel portion is very much like the Cadbury egg foil.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's what it reminds me of.
Very much so. But then it's
So-
very hard to peel off.
It is hard to
doesn't-
peel.
Yeah.
But that's what it looks like to me.
Yeah. It looks very much like that, for sure.
All right, next beer we're going to get into from Spaten.
Okay. And this is why I did zero research, because I knew you had this. I knew you had this down.
Spaten Optimator.
Okay. This might be Steve Seitner's favorite fall beer, right?
Really?
I remember he lost his mind one time when we were at our favorite lunch watering hole just right down the street here, and they had Optimator, and he freaked out and was so happy. And then I don't know if we came back to work that afternoon.
To be fair,
That place rhymes with running hams.
That is true. Yes.
Okay.
Seitner gets excited if you fill his water glass up. I mean, he's an excitable dude.
Yeah, that is absolutely true.
But I understand it, and I love the enthusiasm that he brings.
He has a childlike optimism to everything.
Yes,
Which is refreshing.
great. I love it.
Yep.
Optimator, a DoppelBock. I don't know that we've ever done a DoppelBock.
We've done a Bock.
Yes. Well, guess what DoppelBock means?
2 Bocks.
Double Bock.
Yeah.
Two.
You're learning. You're learning. First brewed by Polliner. So another old OG Oktoberfest beer we've talked about before.
Okay.
Monks came to Munich from Italy. They brewed this beer as a meal substitute because they were supposed to fast.
Oh, so
For
very
religious
bready
reason?
and yes,
so
filling.
And that's why it's this way. It's hefty. The alcohol content is higher because of all the ingredients that are in it. And it's during Lent.
Okay.
So they're supposed to like give up a meal during Lent. And instead they would have one of these.
This was the original meal replacement drink?
Yeah, it was like a Slim Fast, but the opposite. But opposite. So, Monks brewed this. This is one of their most popular beers. Now, you'll notice on the label, it's got 2 shovels.
2 shovels.
So that's pretty fun.
Well, it's 2 Bocks, right?
It is. There's no GS, though.
Oh, why?
I don't know,
Okay.
but I just noticed it right now.
Maybe it was late here. Well, after the German King nonsense, maybe. And so, I don't know.
This is good stuff. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready. Oh, yeah.
Oh, did we just segue?
Involves the Pope. It's a DoppelBock story about the Pope.
Okay.
In the 1800s. Okay, so if they were going to brew a beer at this time, especially for Lent reasons, it had to be like okayed for religious purposes, right?
So Rome, they had to say it's okay. Yeah. Okay.
So they sent a barrel of this to the Pope to see if it was okay for them to drink it because it made them feel so good during Lent. They're like, this can't be good for us religiously because when we drink this beer, it makes us feel like pretty awesome.
So they need the Vatican to say,
Yes,
check.
you can go ahead and drink this.
Okay.
So they sent it. Well, guess what? By the time it got there, it was skunky, spoiled beer. And the Pope tried it, and he spit it out, and he's like, "Yeah, if you want to drink, you want to have this, go ahead." It's disgusting.
He didn't say like no.
No, he said, if you guys can drink this, then go ahead and do it. And they were like, hooray! And they had parades probably, and everybody was loving it. I imagine 2 big beer steins clinking over the successful send of that. Maybe they did it on purpose. I don't know.
That's fascinating. Okay.
But that's how that went. So give me your glass there, and I'll pour you some of this.
Oh, see, okay. We each get a bottle of the Oktoberfest,
Yes.
but the DoppelBock, we're only going to get tasters of.
Yes.
That's okay. Hey, you bought this, so.
Well, you know what? I had it planned out that we could all have one of each, and then I started doing the math, and I was like,
That's a lot of money.
not the money. It's more about just how is the episode going to end?
Oh, true. Yeah, right.
If we're pounding 3 each.
Okay. First
alcohol.
off, way darker.
Yes.
Don't let that scare you off.
No.
Darker in like an amber-ish way. Oh, that was a weird look he gave.
That smell was not what I was expecting.
It smells like bread. It smells like, okay, so
Yeah.
did you or your parents ever have one of those bread makers?
Oh yeah, in the
right?
90s. Yeah, that was a big deal.
And which nobody ever made bread in those things. They
Not
just,
too often.
No. But if you did, it would sit on the counter, and then when you opened it,
Yeah.
it had that smell.
Have you ever made that friendship bread where you put the yeast and the dough in a bag or whatever, and it's like it starts out really wet and creamy in the beginning, and then the yeast like expands, and so then you end up with a lot, and then you take a bunch of it and you make a bread out of it, but then you leave a little bit in the bag, and then you hand it to your friend, and then it
and they
grows.
can make some?
Yeah,
Oh,
and
that's
so
cool.
it's like a never-ending bread
It's like a sourdough starter
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what this smells like.
Huh. Interesting. Let me give it a whirl.
This is a
It smells sweet to me.
It
It
is.
smells like
Very
dark
sweet.
fruit, like cherries and plums, maybe. Almost like a Christmassy smell, if that makes sense. Like a
almost,
Christmas
yeah.
beer.
there's a warmness to it almost that has warmness not in a temperature way, but
Sure.
in like a drinking kind
Well, and
of
that's
way.
why they had to send it to the Pope.
Whoa.
Are you a fan? You're not a fan?
I don't know. I've had this style before, but
There's definitely a bready, yeasty. If you were going for a meal replacement, I mean that's definitely. What's
Oh,
ABV on this?
I don't know if it says on here or not.
I'm gonna guess
7.6.
Wow,
7.6.
we are firmly in IPA territory then.
Yeah, or even like a stout. That's
yeah.
not a barrel.
Yeah.
I could see the fruit thing that you made earlier. It is kind of like a fruit bread.
Just like a fruit cake.
Figs.
Cake.
Figs.
Figs.
Yeah, dark
Yeah.
fruits. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's more of a Christmassy time flavor. And that's why it's more of a fall-ish winter beer.
Fine with me.
Okay, so some of the best rated DoppelBocks on Beer Advocate. Some of these, I kind of went through and cherry picked the ones, either breweries we've talked about before or had beers from. Number 1, Iinger Celebrator.
Yeah, yeah.
That's one that has like a ram on the bottle, like a plastic hangs on there, like a little trinket.
Yep.
Or a charm. That's that one. Usually comes in a 4-pack.
Iinger in the 4-packs of Oktoberfest might be my favorite of all
Yeah.
time. Like favorite Oktoberfest of all time.
We had their Oktoberfest, right?
Last
It was-
year.
Yeah.
I discovered it last year, and so that's why we did it.
I remember it because, I mean, we were all on Zoom at this point.
Yeah.
And it was so good, and I was hoping that I could get more.
Oh man, yeah.
Number 5 I picked was Afternoon Delight by Sun King Brewing, which is out of Arizona.
First of all, great name, Afternoon Delight.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Double Vision DoppelBock out of Grand Teton, which we've had some of their beers before. That was number 9.
The song, or kind of what happens to you if you drink too much of them.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Both. You hear the song and have Double Vision.
Yep.
Tripper Bocker. Number 19, that's McKellar, which we've talked about before.
Okay, yeah.
They're one of the first, not contract brewers, but they would hop around a different brewer and make their beers, so
Right.
they didn't have their own
The
shop
Gypsy
set up.
Brewers
Yeah.
or whatever. We've had one of those before.
Yep.
Yeah.
24, Sam Adams Doppelbock.
I can't say I've ever had that.
I've never seen it.
No.
But it's they call it on the label it's Double Bock, but it's a Doppelbock beer. This is number 32, Spaten.
Okay.
And then 39 is Winterbock, and that's the KC Beer Company. That's the German-only Kansas City place we've talked about a couple
I
times.
love that place, by the way. That place I think is fantastic. Look here. I like some Boulevard beers. All issues of Boulevard aside, maybe that they may have had recently, whatever. I think KC Beer Company has some fantastic beers, like just out of this world, really good, like traditional styles.
Oh, yeah, they're traditional German all the way. You're not getting an
Yeah.
IPA there.
No,
You're
and that's
getting
totally
a Hef
fine.
or a Wit or one of these or
Well, it's like
lager.
a couple weeks ago when we did Prost, right, out of Denver, right? They're not making milkshake IPAs.
Yeah.
They're doing traditional styles.
Yep, for sure.
And that's cool.
Let's get back to Spaten, some more of their history. 1891, they opened a brewery in London.
Okay.
So they're kind of moving westward at that time.
Yeah.
1894 was the first to brew a Helles lager. And that's a style that we see around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Crosstrain, I think, has one. Surly has one.
There's Crosstrain's second most popular beer is the Helles
Helles lager.
Is the Helles lager.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
1909 is the first year they start bringing beer to the United States,
Okay.
which is pretty cool. I mean, did you think about?
I'd imagine, was that beer pretty hoppy, like to preserve it, to make that trek?
It's actually that's a good question.
Yes,
I wonder.
It is, because that was
Right.
before refrigeration, like
Right.
vehicles or, shipping containers.
Well, it makes
Right.
me think
Yes.
like maybe that's why, New England is so hoppy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Could be.
Maybe.
Just because of what they're used to. Guess
Yeah.
that's what IPA, was for when they would be on the boats, was they would put all those hops in there to keep it good to drink. So yeah, you could be onto something there.
Right, right.
Let's see. 1924. The slogan. Oh boy. This is one they still use today.
Okay.
So this is another marketing win for them, I guess, if you haven't had to change it in 90 years or so.
Right, right.
Las dir Katen trinki Spaten. Let yourself be advised. Drink Spaten. I don't know if that's catchy, but it's there.
Okay, this is not to diminish the name Spaten at all. This is no disrespect.
Okay.
But every time that you say Spaten, I just think of Arnold Schwarzenegger saying Spartan, or like, get to the Spaten.
Get to the Spaten.
Wow.
Or I don't know. But yeah, I just keep thinking of that.
I mean, that,
Right.
a DoppelBock will do that to you.
Right.
Yeah.
1964. First Weiss beer introduced at the Munich Oktoberfest.
Oh, so lower ABV.
Uh-huh.
Right. More sweeter, fruitier, kind of. Okay, interesting.
Cloudier.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's 60 years ago.
How do you think they felt about that?
Probably like most people do about change. What is this? I'm not drinking this.
no.
And then they try it and they're like, okay, this is
Okay,
don't
it's
tell my
fine.
friends this is good.
Yeah. Don't tell anybody.
2004. Spaten is acquired by Interbrew, a German subsidiary of InBev,
Oh,
Brazilian Belgium brewing company as we know them today.
Yeah. Okay.
Everybody's got to pay the bills at some
I
point.
guess.
But they're still doing it the same way.
it's still delicious.
Still delicious.
Right.
Still good.
I mean, from the 1380,
1397.
1397,
They held out as long as
they held
could.
out a pretty long time. Like, props to them.
Yeah, 600
Yeah.
plus years. Pretty good.
Here's the thing. So a couple of nights ago, I went to I was out at Warner Park, where the Omaha Storm Chasers played, the AAA affiliate of the Kansas City Royals. My friend's band was playing,
Oh, okay.
and out in center field, there's a bar out there, and they had $1 Bud Lights.
Ah.
I am a very frugal person at times.
Yeah. Selective.
All right. So
Frugality.
very, very large beer, $11. Can of Bud Light, $1. And I can order 2 of those at a time.
Yep.
I enjoyed my friend's band. I drank 4 Bud Lights.
Yeah.
It was a pretty fantastic time.
$4
I'm okay.
spent.
That's a cheap concert.
Drink what you want.
That's a way cheap concert.
Drink what you want.
I mean,
Exactly.
there's local bands putting up $10 door charges.
Right. Now, okay, to be fair, I had to pay to get to the game, right?
Ah,
It was
okay.
before the game.
Yeah, but still,
But you got a game
Right.
too.
But
Yeah,
I
you got a baseball game.
I got a concert. I got 4 beers for
Yeah.
$4, and I got a baseball game.
That's a pretty good day.
I
right
think
there.
after 160 episodes, where are we at now? I don't know. Are
Oh,
we that
yeah,
far?
probably right around there.
Yeah, 100 and, 150,
somewhere there.
160 episodes. I think we've determined 2 things. Like, some of the best combos, like I'm talking peanut butter jelly combos.
Okay.
Right? Like, some of the best combos is beer and baseball games.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
And
yes.
beer and concerts.
Yeah. And it's,
Right?
and
Or
it's
beer and music in general.
well,
right?
it's just beer and it's any beer and those
It's
things,
something.
right?
Yeah.
Who cares?
Beer and mowing the yard.
Well,
That's a good
yeah,
combo.
right.
Yeah,
exactly.
that's another one. Yeah. Or what do they say on Talladega Nights? Peanut butter and I'm just kidding.
Well,
That's what they say.
There's a guy here who mows his lawn, and his lawn mowing beer is an IPA, is fresh squeezed from
Yep.
Deschutes. Like, you know what, bro?
Hey,
Whatever.
You do you.
Whatever.
Fresh
man.
squeeze is great, by the
It's,
way.
it's still a great beer. Now, is that a lawn mowing beer?
I don't know.
I don't know.
It would be for me. I've had Founder's Breakfast Stout after mowing a yard, so I'm not the right person to ask about that.
All right, so the final beer you just poured is very golden.
It is the lager. So this is just straight up Spaten lager.
Okay.
This is like the original OG green bottle beer.
God, I wish I had found this at the Roscoe.
Yeah. So I brought it just to try, just so we can see
Sure.
the different wares, because it's not often that you get a Spaten. Like I've never really seen it on tap anywhere. Probably if you went to like that German, what's that place down in Benson that has all the different German beers?
Barchen.
Yeah, if you went
There
to
we go.
Barchen or something like that, you could probably find it. But
I'm going to say
is
right
a
now,
lager.
I mean this with no disrespect whatsoever. This smells like a green bottle beer.
yeah,
Not in a bad way. Not in a bad way.
yep. It's got that sweetness.
Right?
They always
Yep.
have a sweetness to them. You know?
Yeah. Gonna try it.
Uh-oh. Seitner's over there, and I have a little bit of the Optimator left.
I know. Look at
I'm
him.
going to hide him. I'm going to hide the beer because I drank
Look at
out of the
him.
bottle.
Oh, he would. He's
He'd
used
still
the
drink
same
it.
fork as I've used before.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Okay.
it's, in non-pandemic times.
He's just
obviously.
pacing. That's what he
Right.
does.
Okay, that's just a clean, good. If you like slightly more flavor in your Budweiser, that's what this is.
Yeah.
Right? Am
pretty good.
I'm not wrong, right? I mean,
Yeah.
that's exactly.
Kind of
sweetness-
smells like a Heineken.
Yeah.
A
Yeah,
little bit.
it kind of does.
Because it's that same, it's the same style of beer.
Right.
Green bottle effect.
But if you want just slightly more flavor, if you like a little more salt on your steak,
Sure.
this is a little more lager to your Budweiser kind of.
Yeah, just like just a little extra, a little scooch. But that's why I brought all three, just to try the different ones, because it's not a brewery that we see around very much.
I have to assume ABV on their lager is probably 4.6.
I don't know. Check the bottle.
4.6.
I'm looking. Where did
I'm guessing.
4.6? What do you guess, Brian?
5.1.
5.2.
Dang it! I thought I was so on.
Well, 4 to 5 is pretty
Well,
good.
I mean, look,
Yeah.
yeah. As lagers go, delicious. That's great.
So out of the three, the Optimator had less green bottle flavor, I would say.
Yeah.
But I think that's because
Yeah.
it's such a darker beer than the other ones.
Let's not get hung up on the bottle, on the color of the bottle.
Sure.
If you just had to rank them, right? If you had to rank Oktoberfest to Optimator to lager,
Well,
Yeah.
I would go Oktoberfest, then Optimator, then Lager.
that's exactly what I would do. as
That's
well.
where I'm at.
Yeah, yeah.
100%.
Now, okay, let's say it's springtime,
Sure.
and I want something lighter. I would go lager, Oktoberfest, Optimator, but
Yeah.
that doesn't diminish how good that DoppelBock was.
Sure. I mean, if somebody handed you a big old glass of this lager, you'd drink it. It's real good.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
fun. It's kind of cool. The reason I brought these was kind of to be the flip of what we had already done, which was U.S. beers and with like zero history, imitating a style that had been around for 500 years, or
Right.
actually the Oktoberfest only 200 years or so.
Right.
Right.
So that was the reason for spotting on this episode.
It's interesting. I had a conversation with a home brewer that I'd never met before. Just recently, I was at Casual Pint, and it was that sort of conversation was, do you feel, because we were talking about Oktoberfest or whatever, and I'm like, do you feel the history when you do a beer like that, or whatever? He's like, you definitely want to acknowledge the history behind those recipes.
Sure.
Right, when you the simplicity of them,
Yeah.
and then but as simple as they are, but then as complex as they are to brew, like they were doing this on very little equipment, no
yeah.
thermometers, right?
No
I mean,
science.
no,
really.
right?
Yeah.
yeah, and the consistent. Now, I'm sure they had bad batches that came
Sure,
out of that. or
sure,
whatever.
I was gonna say, yeah. I'm sure
Right.
it was less consistent. Maybe
More hit
than
and
it
miss
would
than what
be.
we're
Right.
used to now,
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah.
But I would think now, especially like say with let's say Oktoberfest with the Spaten Oktoberfest, this is a pretty consistent flavor that comes out every single year.
Yeah.
With the science that we have right now.
Sure. Yeah, I would think so.
But yeah, they definitely, at least from a home brewer standpoint, and you could probably answer this too, you acknowledge the history behind the recipe
Yeah.
necessarily.
I mean, if you're going to really try to, there's a couple different things that you do in homebrew. One is you make what they call a clone. So you're like, okay, I can't get Heady Topper.
Right.
Or I can't get what's the Pliny, right?
Sure.
I'm going to make a clone. And there's those recipes out there, and you can make it as close as you can make it. And then the other thing is, like, you can take a recipe and then put your own spin on it, right? So you can kind of, like, improvise a little bit. But for the most part, everything's there down to the pH of the water. Like, it tells you what that should be, and you do it. So if you want to experiment a little, then you have room to do that as a home brewer. But if you want to make something that's as close or as possible, you just can't get it here, but I want to drink that beer, you can do that too.
So you're telling me a really good home brewer could make me like a raspberry Pliny, maybe?
Yeah, for sure.
Interesting.
Yeah, for sure.
No offense to Pliny, but I mean,
why not?
I like some fruit in my beer, so that's okay.
Yeah. But I'm going to miss these Oktoberfest flavors.
I am too. It makes me sad that we're moving to Untapped now, and this is the last Untapped. Well, it might be the last Untapped that we do
For Oktoberfest?
Oktoberfest, maybe.
Oh, maybe.
Maybe.
Oh.
Okay.
I might have a surprise here in the next couple of weeks.
Oh,
Maybe.
all right. Put a bookmark on it.
Maybe.
Yeah.
All right. I checked in Spaten Oktoberfest in September of 2019
You did?
I did.
Where?
at Beer Park in
Beer Park.
Vegas?
in Las Vegas.
Ah.
What's Beer Park?
Beer Park
I don't know
is
about Beer Park.
right outside of it's a Budweiser patio
Okay.
right outside of Paris, right outside the Paris casino.
Oh, I know.
Okay.
Oh, on that. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
So
yeah.
You go up the stairs. It's right there. There's like
Isn't there like a PBR racing thing? Bull
that-
rider?
Oh, that's
thing?
right across the plaza from them. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you turn right, PBR's right there. If you turn left, Beer Park's on the left.
I should go to Beer Park.
Yes.
That's what
Ah.
you're saying. Okay.
So I was there with a bunch of travelers. Dolan might have actually been there.
Oh, he was there.
No, I never. Okay, so Beer Park is the one thing
You
that has
couldn't
been
make it?
happen reoccurring. Like it's reoccurred every time we're down there for TravCon, and I've never gone because I'm always with a group that doesn't go.
Didn't go there.
Yeah,
Well, next time you'll have to go.
yeah.
So I do know, like, recruiter Colleen Fritchie was with me. My wife was there. We had a big group.
Yeah.
And it was Oktoberfest time.
Perfect.
Right around this time, like September.
Yeah.
I actually wrote down September 2019. I checked it into the 375. I'm kind of embarrassed about that.
Well, I mean, was on tap.
You think it's more than that? I
No,
mean,
it was-
it's still
it was-
a really good rating.
It was
right?
still bottles. It was still in
Oh,
bottles.
okay.
Yeah. So
What would you rate it today?
like 4.25 probably.
Oh,
Wow.
It's one of my. I really enjoy it. I think
Yeah,
maybe
it's
one
good.
of my more favorite.
Sure, that's more favorite here.
favoriter.
More
Yeah.
favoriter.
As my son says, it's gooder.
It's gooder.
It is definitely gooder.
Yeah, it's gooder.
Yeah. Now here's the thing. In a couple of days. Now, obviously, we record these ahead of time. I will be back there.
Mm-hmm.
I may try it again. I may check it in again and correct that error.
I mean, that's what I would do on Untapped.
Right.
I would check in and say what I'm doing and give it the same rating. Boop.
So I only looked up this one. Only
that's fine.
the Oktoberfest. So out of 140,000 check-ins,
That's a few.
which is quite a bit.
Yeah.
Right, getting up there, with some of the highest we've ever done.
Wow.
Where do you think we land?
I'm going to say 3.82.
386.
3.64.
Ooh.
140,000 though.
Yeah. It's been around a long time.
Yeah. Since Untapped was born.
Yeah.
Right. And if somebody gives random Untapped person this beer, maybe they're not an Oktoberfest fan.
Sure.
I don't know. Who knows? Right. Then
Not everybody rates things as high as I do, which I'm learning as well. Like some people are like, this is great, 3.25. Like, what? No.
See, that's where I'm at because, like, I guess it's what you're. So if something was like right down the middle, what's your go-to? Like right down the middle. Don't love it, don't hate it.
I'll drink it if it's there.
Yeah, rating.
3.5.
3.5. Yeah.
See, mine is like 2.75. Like,
Oh.
because I'm thinking of on a scale of 5, 2.5 is like the middle,
Yeah.
right? So then I'm like 2.75 because I would drink it again, but it's not like my favorite. It's not the worst.
I have Aaron Daly's voice in the back of my head.
Oh, yeah.
Is even if you don't like it, don't rate it low because you don't like that style. Like if you don't like the style, don't rate it low, right?
Yeah.
Which I've done before.
Yeah, because it doesn't mean it's a bad beer. It just means you don't like that kind of beer.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
not fair to the brewery. It's not fair to the, or whatever.
Because those rankings actually kind of matter, which is weird.
They do.
It's kind of like IMDb ratings or Rotten Tomato scores.
Yeah.
They actually affect stuff now, which is weird.
Yeah, there's some beers that I rated really, really low that I think if I went like knowing what I know now, if I went back and re-rated them, I'd probably give them a little higher just because I don't like those styles.
Sure.
I've actually done that. And
And you can, yeah.
right? I've given them a 0.25 bump. Oh. Because I've rated them low in the past.
Yeah.
So
Can you
if
go
it's,
back? You can't edit them, but you can
No.
re-rate them, right?
I would re-rate it, but
Yeah.
I would add a 0.25. So if I'm like, okay, this is a 4, I would give it a 4.25 to
next time,
balance
yeah.
out my maybe poorer rating.
Sure.
So then I think I'm okay.
Which you said if you buy a subscription to,
You can go even,
you can
finer.
You can find it like
Yes.
a 4.18.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, if you
Yeah.
subscribe to it. Yeah, if you give them a couple bucks.
All right, so next week is Halloween
Oh, yeah.
somehow.
Enter Spooky Tune right here.
Yeah.
We've got a couple pumpkin beers that Brian has
Yes,
supplied for
we
us.
do. And some spooky ass research.
It's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. And then maybe one last, I don't want to let go of Oktoberfest beers. And then I'm sure we'll get into some stouts. Maybe.
Stout season.
Maybe.
See, the great thing about Halloween this year is it falls on a Sunday. There's gonna be so much football and so much like candy and
Yes.
beer, and
So we can
it's
watch
gonna be
football
awesome.
all day and we just
all
hand
day
out candy a little
and
bit.
Hand out candy a little bit,
Oh, that's good news.
right?
That
Isn't that
sounds
the greatest?
fantastic.
I love when Halloween's on a Sunday.
I'll let my wife take my son out trick-or-treating. I'll hold the baby and I'll watch football and I'll hand out the candy. That's fine.
Yep.
Free phone football. Okay.
I have also put out the beer signal on Atlas and Friends.
Okay.
Our Facebook group where we talk about anything and everything. We have 11 states that we have not hit. And I want to try to get there before the end of the year. Now, I don't think we have 11 episodes before the end of the year,
No.
quite honestly. But
we could make it happen.
we
if we
could
had to.
try. We could try to cram some of these in.
Yeah.
I've already gotten quite a few responses. Thank you if you have responded.
Yeah.
Like we're still missing Rhode Island.
That's going to be
And
tough.
I know. I know.
Maple syrup beer, maybe.
Maybe.
Rhode Island's got a lot of syrup up there.
I did make an error on that post. We have had Indiana beers. That was Three Floyds.
Oh,
We've
okay.
done that
Okay,
before. Right.
yeah.
But everything else. So we're at 10, 11, somewhere in there.
It's doable.
Right.
That's what you're saying.
I know I'm picking up a couple in Las Vegas when I'm going to be there. A friend of the show, Aaron Heifel, will be there, and he's going to bring me some beers from New Hampshire.
Oh,
Nice.
That'd be a tough get. That was the one I was actually worried about, New Hampshire.
I'm trading him beer swag, like T-shirts and hats from Nebraska for it.
Okay.
Nice.
So we will definitely pay for it. But
Yeah.
ER flight nurse Aaron Heifel is going to help us out here.
Did an
So-
Atlas All Access a while back.
Totally,
Check
yeah.
out Here's Story. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get to next week so we can have some pumpkin beers.
Yeah. Let's have a pumpkin beer.
Thank you for listening to A Beer with Atlas. Special thanks to our brand team for producing the show. Each episode of A Beer with Atlas is powered by Atlas MedStaff, an industry leader in travel healthcare staffing.